Hello everybody, welcome to Season 10, Episode 2 of I See Bad Movies. Don't know why I did that. But I'm one of your hosts, Dave Keane, and I am joined by... Alright, stop. Collaborate and listen. Emma's back with a brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of her tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and she'll glow to the extreme. She locks her mic like a vandal, lights up a stage and makes a chump like a candle. Dance, go rush a speaker that booms. Anyway, Emma Spicer.
Have you got the lyrics in front of you?
Yeah, I've got the lyrics in front of me.
Cheater.
I have the lyrics in front of me.
I would have been impressed if you'd known all the lyrics.
I used to know them off by heart. I wanted to get to the stage where it's got check out the hook while Emma Spicer revolves it, but it was just going too far. It's just too far in the lyrics, man. I gave up halfway through.
Quite a long intro.
Yeah, it was far too long. I had the basis of an idea.
Yeah.
Like this.
That's all we can hope for.
Yeah. And then I realised, no, this is so bad. This is so bad. But yeah, everyone, I'm joined by the Emma Spicer. I'm not getting into that again.
No.
Welcome,
please don't.
Emma. As everybody knows, we are going to be watching a vanity project.
We are.
Starring the wonderful, wonderful Robert Van Winkle. I think that's his name.
What a great name, Van Winkle.
If your name was Robert Van Winkle, you'd change it to Vanilla Ice as well, wouldn't you?
No. I'd keep Van Winkle, I think.
Would you?
Emma Van Winkle.
Emma Van Winkle.
It's got a nice ring to it.
Actually, yeah. Emma Van Winkle Spicer. Let's get that.
No, I don't need the Spicer.
Yeah,
just
we'll get
Emma
rid of
Van
that.
Winkle.
We'll get rid of that. Okay, just Emma Van Winkle. So, obviously, as we all know, the movie is cool as ice.
It is.
Oh, I remember watching this when it first came out.
I've never seen it.
But did I watch it when it first came out? Because I certainly didn't see it in the cinema. Maybe I saw it a little bit later, but very close by.
I didn't even know this movie existed.
Did you not?
No.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, I don't think it was big, but he was big.
Oh, I know him,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I didn't know that he did a movie.
Yeah, the movie. I think the movie. I think it really flopped as well.
Yeah.
Like it was really badly aimed. It's like nobody wants a movie about a rapper going to a small town.
Nobody asked for it.
Nobody asked for it. Nobody wants it. Why are you giving it to us?
Yeah.
What is happening?
The best thing
here?
about this movie is you didn't have to make it.
I just realised I didn't get the coin toss out. Where is it?
Oh. I don't know.
I can't find it. Oh, there it is. It's in a different pocket. My goodness. One day we will be
slick and organised.
Yeah, we will be slick. We will be slick and organised.
We
Absolutely will. Right, Emma, we are going to watch this film, okay? And no matter what, we're going to finish it. No matter how bad it might be.
Okay.
There's some bits of this film that I actually remember really well. I say some bits of it. There's like one line from it that I remember really well, and as he says it, I will point it out to you when we watch this film, because I've been known to say it even after this film has been finished.
Okay.
Like years and years ago, I've been known to still say it. Shall I just flip the coin and figure out if we're going to focus on the good bits or the bad bits?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. Now, am I going to be as cool as ice flipping this coin tonight, Emma?
No. No was the answer.
Can I just say,
Where did that land?
I caught it between my thighs.
Is this going to be a new party trick for you?
You know what? It was a really good flip, but I panicked to catch it because it was so close to the mic and I didn't want to hit the mic.
Yeah.
And I've caught it in between my thighs, and it's on the edge between my thighs. So there's no way of knowing if it's good or bad.
Okay, so you need to do it again.
Oh, such a good flip. Flipping heck. That was a terrible flick.
But it worked.
I caught it. What do you reckon? Good or bad?
Good.
It is. We're going to focus on the good bits. So
let's hope there are some.
Yeah. This could be a very, very short episode if I remember this film very well. Now.
Oh dear.
Oh, also, let's go over the synopsis of it, shall we?
Oh yes.
That will help.
That's what we normally do.
It does, doesn't it? It's not a particularly massive synopsis, but we've got two different synopses. There's a very short one, and there's a slightly less short one.
Is it synopsis or synopsises? The plural.
Oh.
2 different synopsises.
I think is it not synopses?
Is it? Synopsi.
Synopsis. Oh, Emma, I need to look up the plural of synopsis now.
Sorry.
Plural of synopsis. It's synopses.
Oh, it is synopses.
Oh my god, I feel so good right now. Synopses. Oh, he's a great actor, Gary Synopses. Gary Sinise, for anyone who got that joke. It wasn't really a joke, it was just a terrible play on words. Anyway, here's the short synopsis.
Okay.
Out of the 2 synopses. A rapper gets stuck in a small town and falls for a local girl whose family is in witness protection.
Dun, dun, dun.
You can't just have like a rapper goes to a small town and falls in love and it's a wholesome love story. You got to throw a bit of witness
he's a
protection.
rapper. There's got to be some dark side to it.
Would you like to hear the slightly more longer synopsis?
Oh, was that literally it?
That was literally it, yeah. Oh, yeah,
yes.
that was it.
Can we elaborate slightly, please? Because I've not seen it.
One thing that I really dislike about IMDb is it has the synopsis or synopses for films, okay? But
synopsises.
It doesn't have, they don't use the blurb like you used to get on the back of the DVD box. They
Why?
go into a lot more detail, you know?
I like the blurb you used to get on the.
Yeah,
I'm sure we could look those up, couldn't we?
Oh, I probably could, but I don't want to.
No, but you won't.
I'll do it during the film. So here's a slightly longer synopsis written by John Saxteder on IMDb. So thank you very much for expanding a little, John. So the old teen rebel saga is updated for the rap crowd. Unfortunately, rapper Vanilla Ice is the teen.
What?
That's unnecessarily mean straight away.
Yeah.
I love it. Ice shows up on a neon yellow motorcycle, which gets everyone's attention. Everyone's? Everyone's. The plural of everyone. Everyone is.
Everyone eye.
Do you know when we watched Swept Away and they kept beating up the octopus?
Yes.
It was clearly the same prop, otherwise they'd have been octopi. Oh. Anyway, so he turns up on this neon yellow motorcycle, which gets I did it again. Everyone's attention, including the female honour student who has never had a rebellious bone in her body. She's about
Until
to.
now. He really needs to grow up.
Oh my god, absolutely. Right, Emma, we've already tossed the coin. We've already talked about the film. Should we just stop, collaborate, and watch?
Are you going to stop making jokes like that?
All right, cool it. Or should I say,
no,
some ice on it, baby?
Oh, no. Can I resign?
No, I'm afraid not.
Okay.
Let's just go watch the film.
Let's do it.
Hello, Emma. Welcome back.
Hi. I'm still awake, just.
Oh, it was a close thing though, wasn't it?
It was quite boring, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it really was boring. Even by, like, music video standards. Because this film is basically just a handful of music videos spread out with a really tenuous storyline.
A weak storyline, yeah.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? Ugh. God. It's makes me want to just grunt and groan rather than actually review and talk about this film.
I'm getting a bit worried about this season, that it's not going to be...
Well, I know what you mean. I think this is the danger of vanity.
It's going to be a slog, yeah.
It is going to be a slog.
Well, yeah, because I guess that's the whole... That was the dog, by the way, if that got picked up by the mic.
That was a strange sound.
Strange noise from the dog. I think by the very nature of it being a vanity project,
yes,
it's so self-indulgent, isn't it? And it's of no interest to anybody else. It's just them being self-indulgent. Yeah. So I'm worried that this season's going to be quite tough to get through.
I know. I think it is going to be a hard one.
We're going to really live up to our strapline on this one, I think.
Yes. And to be fair, I don't think many people have watched these films.
No.
I can't imagine anybody has put Cool as Ice on their television in 2025.
No.
I can't imagine anybody has watched that.
Well, you say that, but I guess there are people that are like weird like us and like to find the shittest movies they can.
True.
So there might have been people that have watched it. I'd love to see on Amazon. I don't think this exists, but I'd love to see like on the streaming services how many views that movies have had.
Oh, that would be good to know, wouldn't it? That'd be really good stats.
Yeah.
Well, you may have had a little disruption there, everyone, but we're back.
Tonight is not the night, is it?
Yeah, we have just been discussing there in a very short intermission recording that tonight seems to be very much against us, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we'll soldier on.
We will soldier on. But shall I go through the actual sort of synopsis and what happens in the film?
Yes.
Let's you know what? I just want to get this one done and dusted and get out of the way.
Don't say that.
No, I know, but I think...
Think about the listeners, David.
I know. Bless the listeners. You're never going to watch this. You're not going to add to the streaming. Let's face it. No one's going to add to the streaming on this
Which is why it's important we do a good job of telling them about it. Because they're not going to watch it.
Fair enough. All right. So, Vanilla Ice isn't Vanilla Ice in this film. He is instead a fella called Johnny Van Owen. He likes that Van in his name, doesn't he? He's Van Winkle in real life.
Yeah.
He's Van Owen in this film. He's Van Illa in the rap world.
He likes the van.
And surprisingly enough, Johnny Van Owen is a rapper. And he drifts from town to town. And we start the movie with pretty much a music video for a song called Cool as Ice. Everybody get loose. Because that's what... Yeah, everybody get loose. Yeah, get loose. Yeah, all cool. All so cool. And Naomi Campbell makes a surprising cameo as a backing singer in this film. Oh, how the mighty fall! Do you know what I mean? Like one of the most famous women in the world in 1991, backing singer for Vanilla Ice in his terrible movie that I saw had a $6 million budget. And it only grossed $1.2 million.
That's not good, is it?
Apparently, it would have made a profit if they hadn't cast Naomi Campbell in it. So yeah, Johnny's performance in this nightclub, i.e., we have a music video. He's rapping, dancing with his crew, and as I said, they're singing this song called "Cool as Ice." But they pack up their bags and they travel to another town. On the way to this town, Johnny and his crew. 3 other people.
They're not rappers, they're just people.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Backing dancers?
One of them maybe spins the decks.
Yeah.
I don't know how the youngsters say it these days. You know, back in my day, you were...
You'd have to ask somebody young, I don't know.
You know, you were spinning decks. Nowadays, you're just pushing a button and starting a playlist, I suppose. Not like back it was in my day.
I think you still get proper DJs, don't you, in this day and age?
You do get proper DJs, DJs in this day and age. That was really hard to say. DJs in this day and age. That's surprisingly difficult for me to say.
DJs in this day and age.
Okay, right.
DJs these days. Say that.
DJs these days. Oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
Maybe I just had a brain fart. I'm just getting old. But I remember the old days. You know, I once DJ'd my friend's 18th birthday party. That was great fun. That was CDs, crossfading. Oh, heaven. Do you know who invented crossfading?
No.
Jimmy Savile.
Why? Please don't mention his name in our podcast, in our precious podcast.
It's the worst. It's the worst fact someone told me. How true it is, I don't know. But like back in the old days, the DJs mixing from one song to another, they didn't have crossfaders like that.
No.
So someone had to invent it, and it was Nolan, Jimmy Savile. Yeah. If you don't know who Jimmy Savile is, don't look him up.
No, don't.
Do not look him up. But suffice to say, he's a wrong'un.
I'm not sure if our friends in the USA will know who he is, will they? Cause
probably not.
He was quite a big UK celebrity, but I don't think he ever did anything.
Well, he certainly did things.
In America.
No, I don't think they'd put up with in America. Anyway, let's move very swiftly on from the monster Jimmy Savile. So Johnny and his 3 members of his crew, they're riding on their like souped up motorbikes through this little town to get to their ultimate destination, which is certainly not whatever this town is called, like little Hicksville, middle of nowhere sort of town.
Did they tell us what it was called?
Probably.
I don't think I wrote that down.
Do we care?
Nah.
It's just. Oh, I know what it was. It was Genericsville, USA. That was it. Genericsville.
Was it actually Genericsville?
Of course it wasn't. It's just a generic.
Oh, we had bloody what's it called? Nilbog.
Nilbog. Oh my God! It's Goblin backwards.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was Genericsville.
Skinner egg. It's generics backward. I don't know if it is. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Oh, I don't know. I give up.
Hold on. Take the recording of you saying it and then just play it in reverse, and then you'll know what it is.
Generics. No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
It's too much work. There probably is. And I could probably find like some sort of effect to reverse. Of course there will
probably
be. But I'd rather just make it up. That's the fun of it.
Yeah.
That's the real fun.
And see if anyone actually works it out, see if it's accurate.
Yes. Oh, maybe one of our listeners could do it. That's a challenge.
Yeah, come on, pull your weight.
Yeah, come on. We're
doing all the work here.
Are you not entertained? Is this work? Sometimes feels like it. When I'm
Do you think?
Give me another cup of tea, woman.
Wench.
I don't think I'd ever dare call you that.
No.
I think that would be very much
I don't think it'd be wise.
The end of my life. I'd be like that guy in Sundown, Vampire's Retreat, just have my head chopped off.
With my bare hands.
That's it, gone. Head off.
I could do that, I reckon.
I reckon you could. Anyone that called you a wench would be see you a chump. Which, funnily enough, chump rhymes with the noise my head would make as it hits the ground.
Thump.
That's the one. Anyway. Like, they're driving through this little town. They drive past a lady on a horse.
Yes.
And I can't remember. Is this scene in Top Gun where Tom Cruise drives past a lady on a horse?
I think you said this when we were watching it, but I don't know Top Gun well enough to know. And
I definitely know they did this in Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh, no, sorry, that's what you said. You said it was in Hot Shots Part 2.
Yes, but I also said, oh, that was the bit in Hot Shots. And Hot Shots was also obviously aping Top Gun a lot. So I can't remember.
I don't know.
I can't remember which if it was in Top Gun, because I think I've only ever seen it once, years and years ago, and I'm not a big fan of Tom Cruise.
No, neither of us are we?
But he does this kind of race, the horse with his motorbike, and then he does this jump over the fence into the horse paddock, and spooks the horse, throws this woman off of the horse, and he's like, and she gets all angry at him, and he's like, hey, whoa, why are you angry at me?
Fair enough.
I was just doing something cool. I was just being cool on my motorbike. Check me out on my motorbike. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, you've been a twat.
You're a fucking idiot. You almost killed me.
Yeah.
Like, people have been paralysed falling off of horses.
Yep.
You dickhead.
Or probably killed as well, I would say. There's probably some cases where you're in front of a horse and you land the wrong way.
That's it, yeah. And of course, that's him smitten. A woman's been mean to me. Oh, let's not unpack why this is making me feel like I want to fall in love with her.
Let's not start talking about, people going, oh, yeah, they tease you and they mean to you. That means they like you. No, let's not teach children that, please.
Let's not teach children that. Quite right. Yeah, so this is the honour student, Kathy Winslow, okay? And she's obviously really annoyed at them. Anyway, they got to drive off a little bit, and one of his crew, their motorbike breaks down. So they're stranded in this town, and they have to leave it at a local repair shop. And this local repair shop is a weird house. Do you know in America how you've got a lot of these kind of like roadside attractions, like the world's giant twine ball or something like that? And they've got them all dotted around the place. They're like these just random weird things.
Yeah, like a giant cotton reel or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's one I've seen.
Or the massive fiberglass dinosaurs that you see.
Or Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, Cocaine Bear. Yeah. Everyone, come see Cocaine Bear. Roll up.
These weird attractions, yeah.
this house reminds me of one of those.
Yeah.
It's all these weird things. It does
It's
not
like
fit in the suburb that it's in.
way too
Little
colourful
town.
as well, isn't it?
Way too colourful. And it's owned by some weird people. They're also the repair shop.
Yes.
They clearly don't have a clue about repairing a motorbike, because within moments they've got this bike stripped and completely apart. And like, oh yeah, we're sure we can put it back together.
Yeah.
So while they're waiting for repairs, Johnny uses this opportunity to go and see Kathy. Sorry. Kathy. I went into EastEnders.
You did, didn't you?
What, Kath? Oh, yeah, I really did. And he finds out that she's already got a boyfriend named Nick. And he basically says to her, you need to dump this guy in.
It's a red flag when someone realises you've got a boyfriend and that doesn't deter them, isn't it? If you find out that the person you like's got a partner,
yes,
you should probably just leave it at that.
Yeah, you do. And don't get me wrong, if natural order happens and they break up,
yeah,
then you can be
but
like,
if it's a case
after
of
an appropriate amount of time and they're okay with your advances.
I just think when someone still pursues it knowing you've got a partner, it's like,
yeah,
that's a bit of a red flag. I wouldn't do that.
It can be a bit. Yes.
But anyway, we know he's a red flag anyway.
Yeah, he is a walking red flag.
Yeah, I mean, he's just
thrown
her off. He's just made her horse throw her off, so he's not looking like the best guy today,
he really isn't, is he? He really isn't.
Very selfish.
Maybe he'll learn something over the course of the film. Who
Maybe.
knows? Maybe. So, at this point as well, Kathy is also interviewed by a news station because she's the local honour student, valedictorian, all these sort of strange accolades that people get. She's got a great GPA, whatever that means. You know, her SATs are great. Apparently,
what is the GPA? I've heard that before.
She can bowl a perfect bowling game, all those sorts of things. I don't know. I'm guessing it's just a GPA. Actually, what is a GPA?
It's some sort of score, is it, on a test? Some sort of exam?
GPA scores. What are GPA scores? No, Goa scores.
GPA.
That's not what I wanted to search. I've just looked up the scores of FC Goa. Good God.
Yeah, I've heard it before, but I don't know what it stands for.
A grade point average. It is a numerical representation of a student's academic performance. It's calculated by averaging the grade points earned for each course, with grade points typically assigned on letter grades like A, B, C, or percentage ranges. There you go.
Okay.
So, excellent top tier is a GPA of 3.7 to 4. Very good, 3.3 to 3.6. There you go.
Okay.
I reckon, looking at this, I would probably be below passing 2.0.
Okay.
That's how I feel at the moment. In what my GPA would have been. But back in the old days when I was at school, I reckon my GPA would have been good. 3.0
I couldn't
to
pass any of
3.2.
my exams now.
Now, all that knowledge
But
is
then I
gone.
suppose-
How to write an essay, gone.
Yeah, and
Don't
also
know it.
you kind of learn stuff for a test, but none of it really sticks in your brain as you get older because you don't use that knowledge, do you?
Yeah.
Really?
No,
I
you
mean,
don't. No.
some of it, I guess, but not. You know, I couldn't tell you about all the stuff I learned in history, for example,
Yep.
and I know some of it, but not like I couldn't do an essay on something
Do you want to
now.
ask me about a plant cell? Chlorophyll?
Yeah, I wouldn't know any
Wouldn't
of
have a
that.
clue.
And do you know what? I found biology really, really interesting in the last couple of years.
Okay.
I find it fascinating how the body works, but I couldn't tell you anything now, which is like actually really sad because even the subjects that you find really interesting, you still the knowledge is gone once you don't use it.
This is what I say to my students all the time, right? I'm not a teacher of kids, I'm a teacher of adults, right?
Yeah.
And I say this to them all the time, right? Because I train people how to configure an expense system. It's not hard,
Yeah.
but
if you don't use it, it's gone, isn't
if
it?
you don't use it, it goes.
Yeah.
And, you know, the amount of people who come back a year or two later and are like, oh, I moved company, I never did it again, and now this company's using Concur, and then you train them and they're like, David, I couldn't remember any of that. Now you've told me again. It's like, yeah, of course you don't, because you just your brain isn't designed to hold on to things if you don't use it.
No, I have exactly the same with the website. So I train people on how to use our content management system, But these people might go in there once every 6 months.
Yeah.
So by the time it comes up to using it again, they've completely forgotten everything I've said.
Oh, 100%.
And it's fair enough because it's not their main job. It's just a little thing they do every now and then. And then the amount of people that I retrain because that when they come to do it, it's just the knowledge is gone.
Yeah.
So it's, you can understand it, but it just means I have to do the training more often.
Yeah, it is. And it's just one of those sad things, isn't it, in life? Do you know what also we always forget as well?
To talk about the movie.
To talk about the movie.
Yeah, I know.
So in the meantime, as I was saying, Kathy is interviewed because she's high GPA, valedictorian, blah, 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 blah. And her dad is also interviewed on the TV as well. And this local news station somehow is on the television screen at a bar in some other major city somewhere, maybe close by, but maybe far away. And I would imagine, right, it must be far away, because why would you put someone in witness protection, okay, who is, and keep them anywhere close to where they are being kept safe from? You wouldn't. You'd be on the other side of the country at the very least.
Yeah.
Do they think it's like, if we hide them in plain sight, they won't be found? No, that's bullshit.
Yeah, witness protection is normally we're moving. I mean, if it was in America, I imagine you'd move to a different state.
Yeah, at least a different state.
And yeah, I mean, you don't want even the risk of anyone, even acquaintances, do you? Like, not just your close friends and family, but anyone on sort of the edges of your life.
Here's another question for you as well, Emma, right?
Yeah.
If you were in witness protection...
Maybe I am, you don't know.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
You've only known me for how many years?
Well, actually, Emma, I've got something to tell you. We've been looking for you all this time. I just took my face off to reveal... Face Off. That's a great film.
We've got to cover that at some point.
Oh my God, yes.
Can we do just a whole season on Nicolas Cage? Because he's got like Con Air.
Oh my God, yes.
Face Off.
Yes.
Oh, we've done Ghost Rider already.
Yeah.
He also did a movie called Raising Arizona when he was quite young.
Raising Arizona is an amazing film. I love it so much.
But then it's a good film, so we can't.
No, we can't
do
do
it in
Raising
bad
Arizona
movies
because it's good.
But he's got enough
Mandy.
shit. He's got enough shit movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, what's the other one
Long
that's
Legs?
just popped into my head? Was he in? Oh, what is it called? Right, sorry.
I don't know.
Bear with.
Can you explain it and I'll maybe guess it?
I don't know if it's John Travolta or Nicolas Cage or both. Let me just look
That's
up.
Face Off. Anyway, while you're looking it up, I'll continue talking about the fact that the dad is on witness protection.
Yes.
The dad knows that Kathy's in witness protection, though she doesn't know it. She was too young when it happened. So, okay, fine. Maybe that's okay to let her be interviewed on television. But why would you let yourself be interviewed on television if you're in witness protection?
Exactly. You wouldn't.
Exactly. And also, somehow or other, this local news station is playing on the TV in a bar in some other town, state, somewhere else in the United States, where the people that he's in witness protection from can recognize him on the television and go, oh, we've got to find this person. We know where he is now. And so they head to the town and they're there in a very short amount of time, which makes me think that they're not actually that far away at all. They're actually really, really close. Anyway, this happens, and Johnny is at the door trying to talk to Kathy, and the dad kind of tells him to beat it, and Johnny walks away, and he's like, and he sees these two guys, who turn out to be corrupt police officers that the dad had kind of gone into witness protection to hide from. But the thing is, right, if you go into witness protection, it's usually because you have, like, rolled on someone. You've given evidence about someone, etc. But these are still two cops. So, like the FBI don't put you in witness protection unless they get results really out of you. I can't imagine.
No,
maybe they got them. Maybe they arrested them, but they couldn't make the charges stick, and they got out. But they wouldn't be cops. Maybe they would be with the state of the US at the moment. Maybe they would still be cops, even if they had conspiracy and fraud charges and all that against them. Who knows? But Johnny kind of walks up to them and says, hey guys, do you know where there's any like bar or club or whatever in this town? And the dad looks out the window, spots Johnny talking to these two guys, and comes to the conclusion, oh my God, he must be with them. Oh, we're not safe. Now, if you're in witness... I'm getting really wound up about this, but if you're in witness protection, Emma, and you see the two people that you are in witness protection from, are you not going to contact the FBI and say, I have been compromised?
Yes, of course.
Does he do that?
No, of course he doesn't.
Of course he doesn't do that. That would be far too sensible. But he sees them talking together, and he automatically assumes Johnny is in league with them. Now, later that night, Johnny shows up with his crew at a local club frequented by Kathy and all her friends, and they all notice that no one is enjoying the live music playing at this club.
Mm-hmm.
It's a distinctly terrible band. So Johnny and the crew decide to perform a little bit of a musical number called People's Choice by just unplugging the other band's instruments, and they take control, completely shocking the audience. Johnny gets Kathy up to dance, and she's loving it.
Yeah.
She's absolutely swept away by Johnny. She's having a lot of fun. Do you know who's not having fun? Nick.
Her boyfriend. Yeah.
But
he does just kind of stand back and let this guy dance with his girlfriend.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't say, hey, this is a little bit out of order. I'm feeling like this is hurting my feelings, and I think I need to let you understand that it's hurting my feelings. Maybe we should talk about things and be a little bit more grown up about it. He doesn't do that. No. What he does is he has a right go at her outside, tells her to get in the car because he's taking her home, and she's like, no, I'm not getting in the car. And he's like, we need to talk about this, blah, 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 blah. And he's just being a real dickhead about it.
Yeah.
And she walks home on her own late at night. And we both said...
Yes, and we both said, even if you've rowed with your boyfriend...
Yep.
He should still care enough about you to make sure you get home safely when it's late at night and not to let you walk home. Don't care if you've had a row.
Does not matter.
You should still think, well, I still want her to get home safely because I'm not a dickhead. But he clearly is a dickhead.
Even if you're like, right, fine, I'll walk you home and I'll walk back and get my car.
Yeah,
if you're not going to get in the car with me, I will walk 20 yards behind you to make sure you're safe.
Yeah.
Even then there's a blazing row. Don't care.
Or even if you say, I'll get you a taxi then, or something.
Like
but just to let her walk off in the middle of the night, that's not.
And of course, what happens is Kathy's walking home alone in the middle of the night. She starts to get followed by this car with these two evil cops.
Oh, yes.
And they start kind of barreling down on her. Not fast. They're not going to run her over, but they're clearly going to grab her by the sound, by the looks of it. Out of nowhere comes Johnny on his motorbike, swerves in front of the car. Kathy gets on and he drives her home and he rescues her. You know, Johnny's doing all the right things here. Johnny's making all the right moves. He's showing he's interested. He's shown her a great time at the club. He's made sure she's got home safely. Maybe even he's like, hey, where's Kathy gone? She's disappeared. Oh, her boyfriend's still here. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Kathy must be going off on her own. So he's got on his bike and he has purposely gone out to look for her and rescued her. Mm-hmm. Johnny's doing all the right things.
Well, he
does owe it to her for nearly killing her.
Yeah, he did nearly kill her, and then he did dance for her knowing she had a boyfriend. But he's trying to redeem himself now.
He does. Now, but at the club's parking lot, a jealous Nick and his friends smash up a load of motorcycles belonging to Johnny's friends, and Nick attacks Johnny. But I mean, like, you're a little, like, I don't know, how would I put this? Hometown boy, but a bit weak looking, and you got a white rapper who's obviously hard as nails and cool as ice. Are you going to attack him?
Double-R bastard.
He's a double-R bastard, isn't he? Of course he is.
I love
Johnny.
That phrase. I say that all the time.
Johnny.
It makes me laugh.
He wipes the floor with them all. Of course he does.
Of course he does.
Yep. Puts Nick in the hospital with a broken nose. You don't go to the hospital with a broken nose.
They didn't do much for it, do they? Broken nose.
Yeah, you go to the hospital, you get it. You know, they're just going to put some blooming plaster on you so it doesn't move too much. That's about it. And then a couple of days later, they'll reset it and break it again for you. That's pretty much all they'll do. But you don't go into the hospital. Yeah, so Nick finds himself in the hospital with a broken nose.
Yeah.
Bless him. But yeah, so Kathy's father, Gordon, by the way, is his name, is still extremely suspicious of Johnny and warns Kathy to stay with him because they can't trust strangers. But Kathy pays no heed to this. That is like a red rag to a bull.
Kathy knows what she's doing.
For a teenage girl.
Yeah, I know.
A repressed teenage girl in a small American town, suddenly seeing, a bad boy from the hard streets.
I'm going to be the parent to a teenage girl soon, and well, not soon, but in the next couple of years, and I just don't.
I know.
I am the parent.
I am the parent to two girls. One is a teenager, one is in the 20s. I'm just glad that one of them's a lesbian. Okay. Because
do you know what? I think I'd feel a bit safer if she
does not have to put up with men.
Yeah.
And that's just so heartwarming. It's so heartwarming. And my youngest, who is, oh bless her, I upset her a little bit earlier because she said she just came back from her boyfriend. She went to her boyfriend's last Wednesday and she just came back tonight. And I saw her tonight as well before we came to record. And she's got a really bad cold, and it's like, oh, is this why you've come home? She said, yeah, I was just feeling so unwell. Yep, fair enough. It's like, also, well, how long were you planning to stay? And she's like, well, Friday's our 2-month anniversary. And I kind of went, oh, and like, I wasn't meaning to be mocking.
Yeah,
it
but
was actually like, oh God, just to be like that age again.
Yeah.
And 17 and wanting to and so happy you're celebrating 2 months together, you know what I mean? And then she was like, don't do that. Like, all right, sensitive. Bless her. But yeah, teenage kids, teenage girls.
That might be when I, take up drinking or working away. Or both.
Take up drinking away. That sounds like a plan.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, the next day, Kathy goes for a ride with Johnny against her father's wishes. They ride all over. Wait, a bit of riding going on. But basically, it's another music video. There's kind of a montage of their day together. We do get a montage. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
They do get a montage.
We do like a montage.
When they do finally return home, they are greeted by an angry dad who warns Johnny to stay away from his daughter. But Gordon, so Kathy's dad, under pressure from his wife, reveals to Kathy the secret of his past, why they're in witness protection. Kathy didn't know they were in witness protection.
No.
But he advises he was once a police officer, and they're on the run from two corrupt cops and were able to escape using fabricated documents. And when explaining why he kept his life a secret from Kathy all these years, this is how he explains keeping it all a secret from Kathy all these years. So Kathy criticises her father, saying it was not fair that he lied to her in order to protect her, yet refuses to permit her to see a total stranger. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I can understand that annoyance. So the next day, Johnny agrees to give Tommy, who is Kathy's younger brother, a ride on his bike. And but Kathy kind of says to Johnny at this point, hey, we're done. We can't go on. She is like, this is the end of it all.
Yeah.
But he still follows his promise through to a younger brother and takes him a ride out on town because Johnny's not a dickhead. He's cool as ice. I mean, he is a dickhead. He is a dickhead.
Bit of a dickhead, but he's trying to be.
Yeah, I feel like he's trying to be a better person through this film because Kathy brings out a better side in him. He's still a terrible rapper. Anyway, so he takes Tommy back to the home where Tommy enters the house and there's these two corrupt cops in there. And these two cops kidnap Kathy's brother, Tommy. Now, we're back at the repair shop and the crew are all getting ready to leave town since his mate's bike has been repaired. But they're all like, Johnny, you've got to go and say goodbye to Kathy. You can't leave it like this. You've got to go and say goodbye. So he turns back up at the Winslow house, but he finds an envelope that's meant for the family, and it turns out to be a message from the crooked cops with a recording of Tommy in it as well. Fearing the worst, Gordon accuses Johnny of criminal involvement because it's like, you've been sent to deliver this message rather than us, that's because you've got it, you're handing it to us, you're delivering it. But Kathy asked Johnny to play the tape left behind by the kidnappers, and he hears a loud clanging noise. And I remember saying to you, that's such a weird thing to have happen in this scene, this loud clanging. There was just, in the scene where they, in the montage where they go off to have their little date driving around on his motorbike, there's just this machine in the middle of the desert just banging a metal plate constantly. Okay? Very strange. And I was like, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Why is that there? But later, Chekhov's smoking gun, when they play the tape with the Tommy's recording, that's the noise they're hearing. So they know they're at this kind of construction site where they were hanging out all day.
Yeah.
So yeah, they go to the construction site, Johnny and his whole gang with Kathy, and they ambush the kidnappers and rescue Tommy. And when the police arrive, the whole gang return Tommy to the Winslows, and everyone's happy. They've got the bad guys strapped to the car. They drive Tommy back. Everyone's happy. Gordon, Kathy's dad, apologises to Johnny. Of course he does. But unfortunately, the rapper tells Kathy, old Johnny tells Kathy, that he has to move on, but she decides to follow him, giving up all her dreams of being a valedictorian. And
so sorry, did we say how old Kathy was?
No.
So we don't know.
The actress, I think, was 26.
Yeah, they always have adults playing teenagers, don't they?
Yeah.
Is that because of the working hours and stuff they can do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be. It will be, absolutely, because of that. And
I just wondered what the age gap was between her and Johnny.
Well, he's supposed to be a bit of a teen himself.
Oh, is he?
He's not.
He's not.
He's really
He's
not.
like 30.
Yeah, I think he is pretty much around about that, yeah. But yeah, so Nick arrives in his car, telling Kathy to get used to being a biker chick because she'll never see him again. Kathy holds on as Johnny uses Nick's car as a ramp, and the two new lovers ride off into the big city. The whole movie ends Johnny reaching his destination, rapping "Get With It," and dances with his crew to an audience at a nightclub. Kathy joins him on stage after the show is over, dancing alone in the spotlight.
Aww.
Does that mean it was Kathy's movie all along? She's the one that ends it in the spotlight? I don't think so. I think, Kathy, you gave up your life as a valedictorian, possibly going on to college.
Yeah.
Good life for yourself.
Should be pregnant within the year. It should be on Teen Mum.
Should be married in the suburbs in the summer.
Oh.
With a kid on the way in 3.
What is going on TikTok? But some of the piss takes are really funny though.
Oh, they're brilliant. I saw a drag
where they're floating off the ground. Yeah, I saw the drag one.
The drag one was absolutely brilliant. I loved it.
I mean, but I don't know what this guy. I don't even know what this guy's name is that sings this song.
Oh.
But he's taking it really well actually, and he's doing like clapback videos of all the piss takes.
Yeah.
So he has actually got a sense of humour about it, which I like.
Sense of humour.
Which you've got to respect him for, because
it's a terrible song.
It's a terrible song, and the way he performs it is very over the top.
Yes.
But give him his dues. He can take a joke and he can laugh at himself.
And you know what as well? He's out there creating art, and you don't have to like it, but he's doing something.
Not exactly. And you know,
I can't knock that.
I mean, actually, it's probably working in his favour because it's getting him so much exposure.
Yes, it is.
And his song exposure, like it or not, it's getting played on TikTok constantly.
And there'll be a lot of soft boys who are really into that kind of music.
There'll be people that will like it.
Yeah.
I think it's just the over the top performance of it, isn't it? I don't think people would have such an issue with the song if he wasn't performing it the way he was.
I saw a woman that was a copywriter picking the song apart.
I think I saw her
about the grammatical issues of it. Yeah. And I watched that and I thought.
But he also did a video where he took the piss out of that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
See, and I watched that video and I thought, you've just got this all so wrong.
Yeah.
Because music doesn't have to be grammatically correct, because we as human beings can take meaning from something. Because she was like, with a kid on the way in 3, and she was like, 3 what? 3 what? You've got all these different nouns. Which one of these nouns is it relating to? Is it?
He said it was 3 beers.
3 beers.
Yeah. He said, right, so married like within a year, and then 3 beers down, you're pregnant.
But that's it, isn't it? Like, you'll be married in a year in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Okay. With a kid on the way in 3. Obviously, the natural progression of that is for a human brain to go, well, if you're going to be married in a
within
year in the summer,
within 3
and
you'll
within
have
3 years,
you'll have a
you
child
don't
on the
need
way.
to finish it. You don't need to have a grammatically correct sentence in.
And songs don't, like
song.
you say, songs don't. Songs do things that lyrics that fit, but you get the gist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because there's something you have to think about in songs like scan.
Yeah.
You know, these things have to scan. You can't write. You can't go, wait a second, I can't do that because it's not a grammatically correct sentence.
Yeah, it has to fit, doesn't it?
I just
fit
thought,
the music.
I just thought, oh, this is actually a really disingenuous video. This picking apart the grammar of.
But he's done one back, so I feel like he's sort of had his say back.
And I think that was absolutely the right thing to do. To do a
I think the only way you can deal with the haters is to have a sense of humour about it.
Yes, 100%.
Because the worst thing you can do is double down and take yourself too seriously. It's actually going to make him so much more likeable. The fact that.
Did you just mention double down?
Yeah. It's going to make him so much more likeable, isn't it? Because everyone's going to go, oh, he can take a joke, he can take the piss out. It's like Lewis Capaldi does it with, I don't know if you've seen any of his interviews or his TikToks, but I mean, I saw an interview of him once and someone said to him, okay, so why should people buy your album? And he's like, don't, it's really shit. It's not my best work.
Do you know, I really like Lewis Capaldi.
But it's a sense of humour that everyone goes, I'm definitely going to buy it now because it works, because it's kind of that reverse psychology of and because people don't take themselves seriously, and you see a human and you see a sense of humour, that just instantly you like them more.
I like Lewis Capaldi, and I don't say this in any way to be derogatory towards him, but there's a million people like him in Scotland.
Yeah.
He's like, his humour is just so dour Scottish humour. Yeah. It's very, very, that's the sort of laugh, that's the sort of taking the piss and the fun out of yourself that I grew up with Scottish people. That's how we are. And I think that's why people like it so much.
People respond well to it.
They respond well to it.
How much do we slate people like J-Lo who just take themselves so seriously, and you're like, get over yourself. When someone can just take the piss out of themselves, I instantly like them, because I think, do you know what? I don't care whether your song's shit or what you're putting out there is shit, and or it's not my cup of tea and I don't like it. I can just appreciate someone's personality though, if they're really just honest like that, and natural and human. Like they're not trying to put on this big show of oh, I'm this big celebrity who's just so amazing. You know, I can actually take the piss out of myself and have a laugh.
Do you know who isn't really natural and self-deprecating?
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice. Oh my God.
Too full of himself.
He's absolutely full of himself. He really is full of himself. Did you see what I did there?
Yeah.
I brought us back.
Brought it back.
I brought us back. And one of the things that we just mentioned there is I've got a good... one of the things you just mentioned there is about that sort of self-deprecating kind of and being able to take the piss out of yourself. I've got a good line, but it's not a good line. It's a good line because it's the line that I've remembered from this film all my life. Yeah. Since I first saw it, way back when I was probably 12, 13 years old. And I didn't listen to it and think, God damn, that's such a cool line. But it was just, even when I was 12, 13, I just thought it was so corny and so terrible that it made it into a film. Yeah. But I have it as a good line for this one. Okay. And I've got a good line, I've got a good prop, and I've got a good actress. Yeah. That's it for me, though. One out of each of those three categories. Okay. And that was a struggle. Yeah, I've got a good stunt and a good costume. I think that's it. Oh, the stunt. Yeah, I suppose. But wait a second. I think I put that same stunt down as a bad stunt, actually. Oh. But I've only got two good things. Let me have this. Well, of course. If you found it good, you found it good. I'm not going to argue that. I mean, I'm slightly disappointed in you not. All right. Do you want to start? What do you want to start with? Do you want me to start with my good stunt? Yeah, I've only got two things. So, when they are driving the car, so I think it's Johnny, isn't it? Driving? Is it Johnny driving the car? Who's driving the car when the two cops are strapped to the front of it? Oh, is that Johnny, or is that the family? No, I think it's one of his crew. Oh, okay. I think it must be one of the crew. So yeah, so one of Johnny's crew are driving the car, and the two corrupt cops are tied to the front of the car. Right. And I just thought it was quite impressive that they drove with two men on the bonnet covering the windscreen, because they literally were over the windscreen. So these guys could not see where they were going, but they still managed to drive the car. Yeah. It's not
which I
bad,
thought was
is
quite
it?
impressive.
I'm surprised they didn't get arrested.
Yeah, or have an accident.
I'm pretty sure, like, if you drove up to a house surrounded by cops because a child has been kidnapped,
Yeah.
and you've got two men strapped to the windshield of a car,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've broken some laws there.
I think you've broken quite a
I know
few.
they're kidnappers, but that doesn't give you the right to break
No.
laws again.
I mean, yeah, you've probably got a list of laws you've broken there.
Yeah, I think you have.
But I just thought, they've managed to drive this car. I mean, I wouldn't be able to drive my car if there was somebody strapped to the windscreen.
Not at all. And by the way, that wasn't the stunt I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't the stunt I was thinking of. So, yeah. Good stuff. All right, what else have you got? We'll go on then. Let's get yours all done.
I've got a good
and dusted.
costume.
Oh?
I just thought...
Good costume in this movie?
Well, because 90s, isn't it? And it was so 90s. I mean, Vanilla Ice's stuff was very out there.
Jesus.
The other guys weren't as flamboyant as him.
He was like a strutting peacock all through the film.
He was like day glow crossed with Bermuda shorts style clothing, and then he had they had the big puffer jackets as well. So everyone knows that I love the 80s, but actually in the 90s I was teenage years in the 90s. So 80s or 90s is my childhood. Yeah. And the fashion, I mean, I think we should bring some of it back. I honestly do.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw some 90s fashion at you,
and I'll tell you whether I should bring it back or not.
Have a yay or a nay.
Okay.
Global hypercolor t-shirts.
Yay.
Okay. Naff jeans.
No.
Okay. What else? Maybe not
bootcut jeans. They're
bootcut
kind
jeans.
of. Are they in again? I know the boyfriend and the baggy style are, but not bootcut.
Jeans went out of
bootcut
fashion
were
for a long time.
Bootcut were tight on your thigh, and then they bell
flared,
kind of shape at the bottom,
which was a bit
to
of
go
a
for your
callback
boots.
to the 70s bell bottoms a little bit,
but I say bring them back.
Bring those back. Low-rise jeans.
No, well, yeah, for the youngsters. When you get older, you need a high waist. I can't do low rise anything now.
I can't do high waist jeans. I just can't. My belly gets in the way.
But I need it to tuck my belly in. I like high waist so I can tuck it all in now.
Emma,
and I can't have the muffin top coming over that. When I was a size 8 and I had no fat on me at all, I could do low rise because there's nothing to hang over the top of it. Just a flat stomach. Now I need the high waist to hold it all in. Try and keep it a bit neater so it's not spilling out everywhere. Yeah, those days are gone, unfortunately. Oh, no. But yeah, the low ones for the youngsters. Yeah, go for it. Knock yourselves out. Enjoy that flat stomach while you've got it. Yeah. Because I never appreciated mine enough.
Sure.
And it's long gone now. So
don't know what you've got till it's gone. Do
exactly.
You? Yeah.
So yeah, I would, but I don't know. I think I might bring back puffer jackets.
Puffer jackets, yeah. Okay, let's move away from clothing. Let's go into hairstyles. Curtains for men.
No, they can stay in the 90s.
Okay. What else was a really...
I mean, the modern mullet. I was talking about this the other day. The modern mullet, I actually like.
Thank you very much.
Not the old mullet, not the old, Pat Sharp mullet. But the modern mullet, I actually think. Yeah. But I do think you've got to have... It doesn't suit every guy.
All right, okay. Thanks a bunch.
I wasn't saying it doesn't suit you. I'm saying I think there's some guys that couldn't get away with it.
Yeah.
But I do think it looks good. So that one can stay. But the modern, I'm not talking about... Because I was talking to somebody about this other day and they were like, no, not the... And I was like, no, not the mullet as we knew it. Not Pat Sharp. Mm-hmm. I'm talking the modern mullet.
Yeah.
So that's made a comeback.
Well, the what is it? I can't remember what it called. Is it
the fade?
Short fade. A short fade.
There's tempered fade and there's low rise fade and I don't know.
Tommy's just got a mullet.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, my youngest
son
followed. Yeah, actually, it really suits him.
Yeah,
he's got nice, thick, straight hair.
Yeah,
and it actually suits him really well. Although they kept the fringe too long, but the side, it really suits him. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you weren't around in the 90s, you've missed a great decade.
Yeah, you have.
And I think it's sad that we're the last generation that didn't grow up with all the devices and stuff and the internet and all of that. We're the last generation that we didn't have it until we were older, did we? We had mobile phones and stuff when we were older, when we were grown up.
I mean, I still remember being
we didn't
16 and my girlfriend at the time getting a pager.
Oh yeah, I remember pagers. Yeah,
I mean, like, who the fuck are you? A doctor in a hospital?
loads of people had pagers,
You know?
didn't they?
It's like, you know.
And
like,
you'd call a number, wouldn't you, and leave a
I'd
message,
call
and
a
then it would
number and
come
leave
up
a
on the
message.
screen.
Yeah, and it was a person
Yeah,
that would take the message.
It was crazy.
And it was like, and she was like, why don't you send me something nice on a message? And I'm like, I have to say it to a complete and utter fucking
Anyone
stranger.
that's born like after the year 2000 will not have a clue what we're talking about.
No.
If you watch some old like TV series from the 90s, then they'll all have pages on there.
Yeah.
Pages were a nonsense, but not many people had them, did they? It wasn't like mobile phones, but everyone had one.
Yeah.
But I definitely knew a couple of people that had pages. Yeah, and you phone a number and leave a message, and then it comes up typed up on their screen.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So weird.
I'd forgotten about
weird.
pages actually.
I know.
I think I've said this before, but my parents were like elite because they had a tease made in the 90s. And I remember thinking, I'm sure we talked about this before. I remember thinking, well, they must have some money because they've got a tease made, and it made the shittest cup of tea you've ever tasted, and it's so lazy. And also, they would still have to go downstairs and get the milk because I don't think you'd leave like milk in it and stuff overnight, would you?
I don't know.
Because you'd leave water in it so that it would boil in the morning and you could make a cup of tea in bed. That was the whole point. But I don't think...
Have like a
unless they had like
refrigerated
UHT milk or something, which is shit.
You don't have UHT milk in tea.
And the cups were like thimbles. They were tiny. So it was like, just get up and make yourself a decent cup of tea and take it back to bed if you want.
Yeah.
But they went out of fashion, didn't they, teas made? No one's got one now.
I hate to put it to you, but they didn't have time to go downstairs and make a proper cup of tea. Time-saving devices in the bedroom.
My parents don't do that.
No, of course not. How are you here?
They only did it 3 times. I remember being at primary school and actually having that conversation where people, when like it must have been like year 6 when we were getting a bit older, and people started to realise that your parents had to have had sex to have children. Like, because when you're a child, you think you only have sex to have a child, and you do it once and you're pregnant and that's it.
Well, it pretty much was for me.
Don't. Oh yeah, you don't realise that people do it for pleasure. So I remember.
Wait, what?
I remember the boys in my class being like, "So your parents have done it twice. Your parents have done it 3 times." And like going around the class and being like, "Oh, how many siblings have you got?" And that's how many times your parents have had sex. And we were all like, "Oh, that's disgusting." And then you get older and you're like, "Oh, that's even more disgusting. They've done it loads of times." So many more times than 3.
I was probably in the house.
Well, definitely in the house. If you live with your parents until you're like, I don't know, an adult, they're going to have had quite a lot of sex in that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't. It just makes me feel so... Yeah. Oh, anyway, moving swiftly on. Well, did you have anything else?
No, I haven't. I haven't got anything else good.
Okay, so I've got a good prop. I've got a good actress. And did I say I had something else good? Oh, a good line.
I've got actress down, but I haven't said if it's good or bad.
Oh.
You do your actress and I'll see if it prompts my memory.
Because my good actress is Kathy in this film.
So I think I've put down... Oh, so I've just put down all the people who turned down the role of Kathy, because didn't you say that there was a hell of a lot of people that turned this role down?
Yes, that's right, there was.
So am I saying they're good? They were too good for this movie?
When I looked in the trivia...
Because they turned it down?
Yes, so these are the people who turned down the role of Kathy. Okay. So Lisa Marie Presley, Winona Ryder, Jennifer Connelly, Drew Barrymore, Shannon Doherty, Julia Roberts, Jennifer Aniston, Sarah Jessica Parker, Uma Thurman, Martha Plimpton, Nicole Kidman, Courtney Cox, Bridget Fonda, they said Fonda, Bridget Fonda, Jenny Garth, who I don't know. I kind of recognise the name, not 100%. Tori Spelling of Beverly Hills 90210. All turned down the role of Kathy. Gwyneth Paltrow almost took the role until her father advised her not to. Jenny Garth, what was she
Beverly
in?
Hills 90210.
Oh, okay.
I don't know which character she was.
She was Kelly Taylor from 1992.
Kelly
She was one of the big stars of Beverly Hills 90210. But yeah, so she would have been really massive around about that time.
So basically all the big names from that time.
Yeah.
Well, that were the right age
Well, and
group.
1990, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox weren't particularly big names, I don't think.
No, because Friends was 90s,
Yeah.
wasn't it? So that wouldn't have been. But I think they'd done some acting before Friends, hadn't they? Like maybe
Yes.
the odd movie here. Oh yeah, Jennifer Aniston has.
Well, yeah, because she was in Leprechaun 2, wasn't
Yeah.
she? And I imagine that when was Leprechaun 2? I could probably look it up because
that was 90s, wasn't it?
we watched it. I think it was 90s. Oh, it was 1993. So
When did Friends start?
I can tell you because I'm on Jennifer Aniston's IMDb right now. That started in 1994. Wow.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that was really, really just before her star rocketed. I don't know, maybe she was a little bit more well known in the USA as just like a jobbing actress at the time. But, and you think, I mean, Winona Ryder in 1991 was big.
Had she done Edward Scissorhands by then?
Yeah.
What year was that?
Well, that would have been, I mean, she did Mermaids in 1990.
Oh, okay.
And Edward Scissorhands will have, oh my God, she's been in so much. So
was
she was in
Nicolas Cage.
She was in Beetlejuice in 1988.
Oh, was that 88 Beetlejuice?
That was 88. She was in Hellers in 1988. So by 1991,
so she was
this
getting
movie,
known.
Winona Ryder
Yeah.
was a big name, would have been a big, well-known name. Edward Scissorhands 1990, Mermaids 1990, Dracula was 1992. So yeah, I think that would have been a massive, massive downfall if Winona Ryder had done this film.
Yeah.
But however, saying that, I do think Kathy, played by Kristen Minter, she was in Home Alone.
As who?
Hella. Who was Hella? And was it one of his sisters?
Possibly.
Wow, that's interesting. Yes, it was the older sister. She was the older sister in Home Alone. Look at that. Anyway, so yeah, I thought she was very good as obviously the young, kind of repressed, small town girl, worked hard all her life.
Yeah.
Suddenly introduced to the bad boy, and she made it quite a believable sort of transition into falling for a bit of a douchebag, but there were times when his heart was in the right place kind of things going on. It's just it was Vanilla Ice badly acting it.
Yeah.
But the whole bit of their montage of their date going around on the motorbike and all that, I remember saying to you when we were watching it, like, actually, I'm feeling chemistry from her towards him, a lot of chemistry from her towards him. And I think that takes some great degree of acting skill to get that. Because otherwise,
that wasn't coming from him,
Yeah, no, that just was not happening. She was in ER for quite some time. She was in ER from 1994 to 2003. 1995 to 2003.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was quite a big person in it by the sounds of it, or at least was a recurring character a lot. Maybe I don't know what part she played, but that's Anyway, so yes, I thought she was really good in that, and definitely the best actress out of it.
Yep.
However, I then have a good prop.
Okay.
So the repair shop that they go to, this weird house.
Yes.
It's just based. It looks like it was straight out of an MTV video in the 90s, right? And
Pimp My Ride.
Pimp My House.
Pimp My House, yeah.
Pretty much. And we get like this little montage around the house of all these weird things. And one of Johnny's crew sits down to eat dinner, and right at the front of the camera are these salt and pepper shakers.
Yes.
Which I thought, salt and pepper, a little bit of a nod to salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Tenuous nod. But because of the perspective, them being close to the TV, they look really big.
Yes.
And when the person from when Johnny's crew member, again, they're pretty much nameless crew members, reaches forward and grabs one of these salt and pepper shakers and pulls it towards them, it's actually just a massive salt and pepper shaker. But like like the forced perspective was really cleverly done as well, and it just worked so nicely. So I thought, oh, man, that could be a good scene, but also just like ultimately a good prop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciated that, as it were. Then I have a good line.
Okay.
Which ultimately is a terrible line, but I love it so much. It's a good bad line. Does that make sense?
This is your line that you've remembered all these years?
This is the line that I remembered all these years.
Okay.
So this is when Johnny first goes to Kathy's house.
Yeah.
Because, he's almost killed her on the horse. And Nick's there and he's like, who's this ruffian? Blah, 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 being really derisive of him. And anyway, Kathy's like, oh, this is the first time we see Kathy be like, something's getting all fizzy downstairs. Very much. It was. Sorry, that's one of the lines from my play that I'm in, Bleak Expectations.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Shameless plug
I'm in this play, a shameless plug, playing a Victorian governess, and I'm threatening a young man who's lusting after my charge, and I say to him, she is no naive milkmaid staring at a topless stable boy, wondering why she's going all fizzy downstairs. That's my line. So that's where it came
weird
from.
Expression.
Yeah, but it's a comedy. It's it's a stupid line, and I say it very stupidly as well. But this is the first time we see Kathy being like, oh, I've got a little something for the bad boys here, and Nick's being really derisive of him. But then Johnny turns round and says, "Drop the zero. Get with the hero."
Oh, I had that down as a bad line.
It is a bad line, but it's so bad it's good. It's just dreadful, and it stuck with me for years because I remember watching it thinking, this is dreadful. What a terrible line. What a stupid line.
I'm definitely using that.
Even as someone who owned the Vanilla Ice album when it came out and knew all the lyrics.
Answer this honestly. Have you used that line?
No, I've never used it.
No?
No, never. Why would anyone ever use that line seriously?
It only works if someone's also seen the movie and gets it. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine, Emma, someone coming up to you and saying, "Drop the zero, get with the hero"? You would laugh yourself.
Or would drop him like a hot potato.
Drop the potato, get with the
tomato.
I say tomato, but
Americans say tomato.
You'd just be like, I cannot take you seriously anymore.
No.
This is someone with a GPA of 3.6 and above.
I'll tell you a chat-up line. No, it wasn't a chat-up line, sorry. I'm talking 20 odd years ago. In a nightclub, I had a very brief chat with this guy, and he was like, "Can I take your number?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he said, "What's your name?" And I said, "Emma." And he said, "How do you spell that?" And I said, "Don't worry about it." And walked off. Because I was like, if you can't spell Emma, I don't want to date you. It's not like I said Siobhan or like, do you know what I mean? Or Neve or something like that. Like,
yeah.
If you don't know how to spell my name, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And I just walked off because I was like, what? No one has ever had to ask me how to spell my name.
No.
In my life.
Emma's not hard.
No.
It's not a hard name.
It is not. And actually, when I was born as well, it was such a popular name. There was always so many other Emmas. So everyone knows an Emma. So I'm like, if you can't get your head around my spelling of my name, I don't think this is the sort of person that I've got any longevity with.
There's a really well-known book that's just your name.
Yeah, I know.
There was even a movie made of it.
Yeah.
Probably was released by the time that conversation happened as well.
I was just like, no, don't worry about it. I know, okay, he's in a club, he's probably drunk, but come on.
Yeah.
He wasn't that drunk.
No.
But yeah. Anyway.
What do you think he held the name Emma, or he held something completely different?
Maybe. Actually, I never considered, did he hear me correctly? Maybe he didn't hear what I said, and that's why he was like, if I say, how do you spell it?
Maybe.
Rather than saying, what did you say? But then he could have just said, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or he could have said, put your name and phone number in there. That would be a way around it.
Exactly. And that would have been smooth.
That would have been better, wouldn't it?
That would have been better. But not like, how'd you spell that? What? I remember once I was in the club, I was like 16, 17, and I met this woman. I met this, she was absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Drop dead gorgeous, right? We left the club together. I walked her home, had a wee kiss, and we were like, yep, I'll meet you. We'll meet up again next week, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. was Eastern European. Can't remember where she was from. Didn't speak very good English.
Yep.
She told me her name in the club. And to this day,
You can't remember it.
I still don't remember it. And I met her the next week. And still don't know what her name was properly. I think it was Olanka.
Is this why it ended? Because you didn't know what her name was.
No, it's not why it ended. It just didn't continue on. That's all. It's just one of those little like, oh hey, you're hot, I'm hot, let's hook up, and we did for 2 weeks, and that was And then it just didn't go anywhere. But yeah, she was an au pair living in a place that I wouldn't expect anyone to have an au pair, to be honest.
Okay.
So it was like, oh well. Anyway,
Yeah.
I saw her again a few years later.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, oh hiya, and she was like, oh hey, and she was all interested again. I was like, well, I'm married. Well, no, I wasn't married at that point.
I wonder if she knew your name.
Probably not.
Maybe you were both on
But
that
then
date
David
thinking.
is quite a global name. It's a biblical name.
Yeah.
So it's a very European.
Yeah, but she
name.
could have been
It's
drunk and
a
forgotten
Hebrew
your name,
name
is
and
what
all
I
of that.
mean.
Exactly. Yeah, she could have been
So
drunk
you
and
might
not
have
even
both
had
been on
name.
that date thinking, I don't know this person's name.
And also,
How am I going to figure it
I'm
out?
saying to her, I'm saying to you, she didn't speak very good English. So,
Yeah.
Also, I'm Scottish. I don't speak very good English, It's
like the blind leading the blind.
What's your name? Olanka. What's your name? David. Okay. Whatever.
This was a fun time.
All right, fine. I don't need to know your name, baby. But I'd never asked her how to spell it. Maybe that's what I should have done. But 16, 17, I didn't have a mobile phone.
No.
Didn't even have a pager.
So did you have to just say, like, meet me at this time and place next week?
Yeah. We met in the club. Yeah, just like,
Oh,
you're going to be back here next week? Yeah, I will be. Oh, I'll see you here. Yeah. And yeah. Didn't do much dancing that night. Sat in the food bar snogging. That's just the way it was. Oh, well. Oh, those were
Great
the
times.
days. Those were the days.
Do you know what? They had a Facebook page come up a couple of years ago, or it might have been like 4 or 5 years ago, of an old club that I used to go to all the time, like every week.
Yeah.
And people were sharing like remember camcorders?
Oh yeah.
There was like video footage and photos from this club.
Oh Jesus.
And I was watching it, and I just got so nostalgic watching it, and I just thought, and there was like almost like a little part. I hadn't thought about those days for a long time, and there was almost a little part of me that thought, oh, like I feel a bit sad. Those days are over. And then I thought, fuck going to a club now. I'm glad I did it. I had such a laugh. I had a great time. But I could not get steaming drunk like that now.
When you used to go to those clubs, I guarantee you would have seen people who are currently our age in those clubs back then.
We did, and we used to take the piss and be like, and I used to be like, don't let me be that person. Don't let me be the 50-year-old in a club full of like 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
Thinking I've still got it. And luckily I'm not, because I wouldn't go in a club now.
And don't get me wrong, back then there wasn't much choice for continuing drinking when the pubs closed.
No, you had to go to a nightclub, didn't you?
You had to go to a nightclub, but also like.
So you enjoyed it at that age?
You're of an age where you probably have a house back in 1998. Even if you were renting, you probably had a house at 45, 50. Older ages. Just buy some drinks and go home and have a house party. Nothing wrong with that. Do that. Anyway, Emma, how would you improve this movie?
I've made a couple of notes. The script. It was a very weak storyline. There was not much going on.
Yeah.
I hate the way Vanilla Ice talks.
Oh.
And I would have less raps and stupid dances all the way through.
Yeah. On the note of him, we hate the way he talks. There was a bit in the film where where she jumps on the motorbike and he says, "Let's go."
Yeah.
Do you mean go?
Irritating.
Let's go.
Yeah, just say go.
Let's go.
It makes you sound like a knob.
Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, who says that?
Man, honestly,
Like,
Robert
honestly,
Van
who?
fucking Winkle.
Yeah.
Get a grip.
Who actually says that?
Oh my god. But yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What
What about you? How would you?
Me, I'd want the film to actually make a decision. Is it a film or is it a music video?
Yeah.
And you know what? I would want it. I actually want it. Now, not saying I'm a massive fan of musicals. I enjoy musicals. Some musicals, they're absolutely fine. I'd actually like it to be a rap musical rather than just a movie with the occasional rap video slotted inside it.
Yeah.
I think that'd been really interesting. I think there's mileage in that. I think there's something you could do about making it a rap musical.
Yeah.
I think they bottled out doing it with 8 Mile. You know, could you imagine the NWA story as a rap musical? Fuck the police. fuck the police. Hey,
I'm not sure I'm supporting the rap musical
I don't know.
vibe. I don't know.
Just something to make it a little bit more interesting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything to make it more interesting.
Anything.
Anything.
So, what are you scoring this movie?
Oh, you just
Oh,
literally
sorry.
took the words out of my mouth. Is it as bad as Swept Away? No.
No.
It's not. It's a little tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
I think it is. In some instances, I think it was poking fun at itself, but it was also a little bit po-faced. It was a little bit straight as well.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give it... There wasn't a lot of good stuff. I think I'm going to give it 1 star. It had more... It was more enjoyable than Swept Away, but it was still a mess of a movie like Swept Away got 0 stars from both of us. Yeah. So I think I'm going to give Cool as Ice 1 star in the vain hope that we're getting slightly better as we go through the movies this season. Like, we're going to work our way up to a 5-star bad vanity project movie. That's my hope, but I'm not holding on to hope. But yeah, 1 star for me. What about you?
I'm going to give it half a star.
Ooh.
Just purely for the 90s costume. I don't know what else I'm going to give it any more points for.
You hated it that much? Despised
it was
that much?
Slightly better than Swept Away, but I was bored. I remember being really bored, like just thinking, is it nearly finished? I hate it when I'm clock watching when a movie's on, because then I know I really need this to be over now.
And we also talked about through this film.
We did,
well.
and we always know that we're not interested if we chat through it.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm going to give it half a star.
Yeah, and I've got a little bit of an update for you.
Okay.
About some of the stuff we talked about last week.
Oh, okay.
That we're going to go and we're going to record the flip side now.
Yes.
After I fill you in very, very quickly.
Okay.
In terms of updates on what I want to talk to you about, because it will be quick, because it's gone 11 o'clock and we've still got the flip side to record.
Yes.
Emma, the audience don't need to know what time it is.
They don't.
But just as long as you just need to know that Emma's really, really struggling at the moment with terrible hay fever.
The hay fever is off the charts, and the antihistamines are making me like a zombie.
Yeah,
but if I don't take the antihistamines, I actually want to scratch my eyes out.
Yeah.
So I'm rocking a hard place at the moment.
It is. And, I think if you've listened to this far in the episode, please find us on social media and just give Emma a little bit of love.
Yeah. Just feel sorry for me for the next month or so. I'm probably going to be like this.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate summer.
Horrible.
This is why I like spring.
Yes, I know. It's so much better for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go record the flip side. Let's get it done, and then I'll get out your hair and you can relax and
scratch my eyes out.
Scratch your eyes out in private.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.